go. Hey, let's turn this off. Hold up. I'm doing a lot right now. Hold up. Let me see. Yo. There we go. There we go. I'll do that. I wonder, can I? All right, let's go. I think I want to move this down. Yo. What up? Hey. If anybody want to tell me who they think this is, let me know in the comments. If you follow me on Twitter, do not answer. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Nigga, you see Russell Westbrook over here with the little bald, the blonde spots in his head? Cool. That's Russell Westbrook, my nigga. That's Russ. That is funny. What's going on, everybody? Want to welcome everybody to the first Wake Up Wednesday in this format. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for spending your Wednesday night with me. You know what I'm saying? So y'all say y'all can hear me, right? Okay, big bet. So if you didn't know who that was, everybody in the comments follows me on Twitter. So that's Jazzy Faye from 1990. I guess he went by Phelan. I think it's Phelan. 1990. Homie was going by Phelan for sure. That's a that is a black name. You know what I'm saying? Let me I can see the chat from the app that I'm using. How's the connection? Am I jittery? Am I clear? Is it smooth? You know what I'm saying? I'm using, my camera and all this other stuff, man. So I just want to make sure it's cool before I get started. Let me know what y'all think. I'm about to log on and check this out from another account real quick before we get started. Oh yeah, we good. We super good. Yeah, you're right. What up? Tony, what up? Tiff, what up? JB, what up? Everybody else in the chat, what up? Let's get into it. So I guess I have 4 things. I'm taking this off because I can't hear anything right now. So I got 4 things that we're going to talk about this week. And I'm going to try and zoom through this because if y'all know me, y'all know I can talk. You know what I'm saying? A little glitchy. Okay. Well, I can't fix it now because we live. It is what it is. It's a little jittery. Okay, we'll fix it in the coming weeks. So y'all are my testers anyway. Okay, so we're gonna talk mental health. I think as it relates to the Olympics and Simone Biles, Sha'Carri Richardson, and all that good stuff. I also want to talk about this battle stuff. With Royce the 5'9", Lupe fiasco, Mickey Fax. I want to talk about the Woodstock 99 documentary that's on HBO Max. And I want to talk about when 2K fell off. Because I thought it fell off in 18, but my DMs was kind of jumping yesterday. They said that that's not when it fell off. It fell off before then. So what should we get into first? Mental health, battle stuff, video games, or revisionist history? I think we should go mental health first, because I think that's the. But y'all let me know. Yeah, it's a little jittery. I see it. We'll fix it in the coming weeks. Let's just start with mental health. Now, when I got this, I didn't know, Ella, what up? What up? I didn't know the context, because somebody just DM'd me and said, yo, talk about mental health. And that can be like really, really vast, right? Because mental health is like a hot topic nowadays. I think that in large, as much as we do right, we do wrong. I think that we pick and choose who we want to give grace to, and that's not cool. So I think as it relates to the Olympics, so we all know what happened, Sha'Carri Richardson, and now recently Simone Biles. And just to give a quick recap, Sha'Carri lost her mother, and I'm telling the story that everybody knows, but I was told when I went through pastor training that you're supposed to explain the story and not assume that everybody knows what you're talking about, which is true. So, Sha'Carri lost her mother while she was training for the Olympics. She drank a little wine, smoked a little tweed, and test came back positive. And she was removed from the Olympic team. I don't know if y'all saw, what's the girl's name? Megan Rapinoe, the soccer player. She's annoying. But she's like the face of CBD at the Olympics, which is crazy. And I'm like, come on, y'all. And more recently, Simone Biles just dropped off the team. Some people were saying it was an injury, but in all actuality, she wasn't feeling it, in so many words, right? First of all, let me say that I commend both of them for why I commend Simone for observing a situation and saying, yo, this ain't for me. I'm out. This is too much. And I think when it comes to grief, we can become the grief police, where people can say, well, you're kind of telling people how to grieve, and you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Grief takes you all over the place. If you've lost a family member, even if you've just fallen short of an expectation, it just might take you somewhere for a season. And then some people get stuck there, right? But in all honesty, I understand both sides of the coin, because if you're training for the Olympics, right, there's still rules that are set in place. And, those things should also be taken into consideration. So I understand both sides. I'm grieving, or this is too much. And even in for Sha'Carri, and then in Simone's case, it's like, man, that could have went to that spot. Like, I'm somebody who thinks out. So at what point did you decide that this was too much? I'm going to tell maybe next week, but I'm going to tell my vasectomy story. And the night before was the worst night of not worst night of my life. I won't be exact, but it was bad. It was so bad. You ever as a kid, like, you was so like nervous about something, you just went to bed? Like, that's what I did. I went to bed at like 8:00, like wild early. But by the time, next morning when I was in the hospital, with the scrubs on and all that, it was go time. I couldn't turn back. You know what I'm saying? So even though I was fearful, even though I felt the way, like I just had to push forward, right? So in Simone's case, I wonder if, she counted the cost to that degree, or her team, or her people, or whoever, or if, she was, did she count the cost to like consider, like, man, do I really want to do this before I take this flight to Tokyo? Because I know there are other people who, tried out for the Olympics and didn't make it. She took their spot, so that could have been somebody else's spot. So I just like to see the whole like perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not indicting anybody. People make their own decisions, and you just got to let people do things, especially when it doesn't, concern you. But my fear, not even my fear, because I see it happening. And you're right, Trav. I mean, it's a world stage. It's a world stage. Like, I'm comparing my little vasectomy to like the Olympics, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot, cuz. So again, it's just difficult. Hold on, I want to turn this light up a little bit. Hold up. Oh, I did it wrong. There we go. A little bit lighter. All right. So my fear is that because there's such a focus on mental health, that like people are going to take advantage of it pretty much. And mental health becomes like like an excuse rather than a reason. You know what I'm saying? My fear, because we see it all the time. Like, that's how you take advantage of things. You take a real authentic thing, and then you kind of hide behind it like a shield, and you're able to, determine and dictate. You're able to determine and dictate like what you're gonna do or whatever. I lost my train of thought. Let's run that back. People will take advantage of the moment because people will use the authenticity to slide their own agenda in the mix. And that's not fair. That's not right. And I hope that we as a culture, we as a people are aware of that going on, and that we don't have to like put a tinfoil hat on to see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not at all saying that this is Sha'Carri and Simone. I'm not saying it at all. I'm just using that to make a larger point. That in these very real instances, there are also instances that are not real. And those things, and those are spaces where people take advantage to, for their own benefit, to set their own agenda. Everybody has an agenda. That's like a tinfoil hat word, like, right? Everybody has their own agenda. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. Like, I'm sure they provide counseling, and I'm sure they screen it. You know what I'm saying? So like, what was that process like for her? I'm very curious to know. So, yeah, man, just, and I guess the question that I have is like, how do we as a culture, how do we pursue nuance? You know, we want things to be black and white. And I think most of us are in a space where we know that that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything isn't light and dark. Everything isn't, blue and red. And so as a culture, how do we like ask questions where we don't sound like we're being like defensive or we've got our guard up? It's like when people ask questions, it's like when your mom asks you a question that she already know the answer to and she just want to know if you're gonna lie or not. But like, how do we ask like sincere questions? And how do we have like real dialogue? The more that I get into it, I realize that like, and I've said this for years, but now more than ever, like social media is not the place for it. And it's become the language, unfortunately. It's really going to have to be like an off the grid thing where people are just going to have to like come to see people's perspective. Because when we have these conversations, man, it's not about like making the other person believe or agree with what I'm saying. It's about seeing other people's perspective. And from there, you are able to take whatever your ideal is or whatever and like move with it. You know what I'm saying? Nuance is absolutely a lost art. But we're going to get back to that though. Like, that's my goal for this year, for the next 12 months. I want in my community to champion nuance. I want all of us to be able to like dialogue in nuance. Like, even like if you're in my stories, man, I talked about them Travis Scott ones and I said it's the worst shoe that I've seen. Like, people was killing me in the DMs like, yo, that shoe was crazy. Okay, cool. I'm glad that you like it. Like, it's not that serious. Like, my stance on it is not absolute because it's an opinion. And that's what like most things are, culturally, is like, it's an opinion. Say, do we know? Yeah, I mean, facts. Who's a little white girl? Carrie Strug. Now, I want to know how many of y'all were, and I'm going to move on to the next topic because I told you this is like the trial. Who remembers Carrie Strug? That was the 96 Olympics, right? That was Atlanta. And this is something that America does, man. Like, we be like championing, we love to champion like people who, courageous and strong. She had an ankle injury and she went out and fought for her country. The same way that we champion people who are, we were calling essential workers heroes a year ago. And now look, there's a labor shortage because all of those essential workers are like, I'm not working no more. And it's trash. So Carrie Strug, if y'all remember, 96. I knew Doc was gonna come in here with the facts. So she did the flip, right? And she nailed it. She kind of nailed it. And from what I read, that basically like killed her gymnastics career, but she did it like for America. Where is she now? I'm curious. Where's she at now? And I'm not saying that in a bad, like, not on some Nas where are they now. Like, I'm curious to know like how she feels about that. Because, you're right. Like, dog, because that's an IOC thing. But man, that's an American thing, dog. That's an American. We let so much abuse just run rampant. We let Hulkamania run wild. And in hindsight, we're always like, oh man, that wasn't such a good idea. And maybe that goes to my next topic. Maybe I should jump into like revisionist history and Woodstock and all that good stuff. But that's just my goal for 2021 is to like really pursue nuance in a real authentic way. And that sucks. She had to retire. That's crazy. So let's get into Woodstock. Then we'll get into these battle raps, and then we'll talk 2K, and we'll get out of here. So have any of y'all seen the Woodstock documentary that was on HBO Max? And have any of y'all seen Summer of Soul that's on Hulu? I'm curious. Because I watched Woodstock last night, and my wife is in the chat. And anytime I watch something without her, I'm always like kind of nervous. No. The Woodstock doc was really good. It was good. No. That's not. I'm not here to kill the doc. This is not. Oh, that's a bar. I'm not here to kill the doc. Oh, I'm not here to kill the doc. Woodstock doc was good because, man, I remember Woodstock 99. I remember that MTV coverage. Woodstock 99 was not a big deal to me until they announced that DMX was on the bill. I was telling y'all, DMX at the time was my favorite rapper. I was ready to pay, like I was begging my dad to pay, I think it was like 20 or 30 bucks for the pay-per-view. I was begging my dad just to see the DMX. I didn't want to see nobody else. I didn't want to see Ice Cube in 99. I definitely didn't want to see Wyclef. I just wanted to see DMX. And so I got done watching it, and watching that documentary after watching Summer of Soul is just like, yo. Oh, man. These white folks is crazy, man. So what I have questions about in regards to the documentary is how we tell stories. Or Trav, you said it, reimagining history. How do we tell these stories in hindsight? What stories are we telling? What things are we putting an emphasis on? I wasn't gonna waste an opportunity. And they slandered Wyclef in the doc. That was funny. But they went to like tell this story about Woodstock. Maybe I should run it back. So what was interesting was they said all right, there we go. They said the documentary of the 69 Woodstock, a bunch of stuff actually happened at the event. You know, there was like protests and, you know, like a bunch of stuff went wrong. And in and in the documentary, the original one from 69, they chose to paint this picture of peace. It was this time of peace. And that was so stated. It was done so well that I wasn't even around for that. And when I heard Woodstock, it was ingrained in me that was like peace, hippie, peaceful festival. And that wasn't the case at all. Those who created the documentary just chose to tell that story. So what I found like really, really, really interesting was like my father, I always wondered as a kid, like how he felt when he would watch, people tell stories about things that he lived through. So I remember like watching the Temptations movie with him, and he was a big Motown fan. And, he would like tell me the things that they left out or things that they got wrong. And then when I got older, he and I went to go see Straight Outta Compton. And I've talked about this on Clock Radio speakers. It's like, yo, I loved the first half of that movie. I loved it. The second half, once they went to Death Row, it was terrible. It was terrible. And it wasn't terrible just because Dr. Dre was like super tough, super thug, right? It was terrible because they were leaving a lot out. When the first half of the movie, they were so detailed and like true and authentic to the story. So it bothered me. And so I remember having these conversations because I don't know if y'all remember, like after that time, yo, like NWA merch was all popular, and it was like 15-year-old kids wearing like Straight Outta Compton and Niggas for Life shirts. It was crazy. And I remember having conversations with like my nephews and stuff, and I'm like, yo, they're asking me questions, and I'm like, well, this didn't really happen. This happened. That happened again with the Tupac movie. And so the story that they told in Woodstock was like, it was fine. It was fine. And Doc, you're right. That what they said about the baby boomers and about like their power and all that, that was like spot on. That was really, really interesting. But they told this story where like basically the 90s was like super progressive, and nu metal came and pretty much messed it up. So nu metal is Limp Bizkit and Korn. So basically Fred Durst is responsible for like the progression of music stopping. You know, it was like the equivalent to every episode of Unsung when like gangster rap just killed everything. And they talked about how TRL kind of like regrets like it being a melting pot, like the music being a melting pot, because you had like Limp Bizkit and Korn fans over here, and you had like Britney Spears and NSYNC fans over here, and like every day they were fighting. And it was very interesting that like that was the story that they chose to tell, because there's a lot of stories that you could have told in that dynamic. 1999, July of 99 was such a pivotal time. And they talked about other stuff too, like Napster and Y2K and all that stuff. Absolutely. Shut up, Trav. And it just made me wonder, how are they going to tell the story of like right now? I'm curious. How are they going to tell the story of COVID and quarantine and Mike Brown and Ferguson and Black Lives Matter and Sha'Carri and Simone and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd? Like, we're living in history. I just, retweeted something that basically said that, like, people are asking for, people saying, man, we're never going to get back to normal, or it's never going to be like things aren't going to be the way they were before COVID. And in many ways, things are not the same after 9/11. And my daughter is a super big, like, she's big into like 9/11 documentaries. She's so fascinated with that stuff. And I remember the day that happened. And so the story that they tell, I remember I watched documentaries with her, and I'm like, that's not what happened, or that's not how the story went, or like, it's just very interesting. So I'm curious to know, like, how people are going to tell the story of now in 20 years when we're in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, depending on the ages of people in here. Do y'all ever think about that? Like, whatever we're living in right now, how is that story going to be told in another 10, 20, 30 years when, like they said, people are out of those positions of power, and the next generation can tell the story? You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like in some instances, it's like asking a teenager to tell the story of Jay-Z rather than getting somebody in their 30s or 40s who like grew up with, reasonable doubt. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that they were talking about the problems of the world, but there was definitely a lot of finger pointing that, like, oh, because they were talking about how the Beastie Boys were, were progressive, and, how things were musically, and, they just kind of said music was a catalyst for that, or one of the catalysts for that. This is the 90s. Yeah, that was another thing, Doc, about the freaking God, what am I them storming the Capitol. It's crazy. How are people going to tell this narrative? I'm so curious. Are y'all thinking about that? we talk about that, like, as far as how we make decisions and how we take care of our family, and you hear that a lot, like, financially, you know, what you're doing today affects your family tomorrow, financial, all that stuff. Yeah. But just like culturally, I'm just curious to know. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I've been talking a lot. I need a break. So what I want to do, man, I had all these things pulled up. Like, let's see. Look, hold up, man, I messed up. See, I had the flyer pulled up. I had a picture of Simone pulled up that I was supposed to do. I messed up on all this stuff, man. So let's get into some raps real quick. I got some rappity rap fans in the chat. Let's get into this. So some of y'all may or may not know, my feelings are hurt because Royce the 5'9" is one of my favorite rappers, and he is getting his boot smoked in a really, really authentic way. So basically what happened was, just to tell y'all the story, Royce, RJ Payne, who some of y'all may know as Rain Man, he, I don't know if y'all remember like those MTV battles from the 2000s. Rain Man was in those, the same ones that like Blind Fury was in. Rain Man was in those, and then Rain Man was a part of the DVD era. He battled Ness, and Ness was my guy, and Rain Man had him on the ropes. So Rain Man is rebranding himself as RJ Payne, and he sent a tweet out that basically said him and Ransom are the two best rapping right now. Royce threw a hissy fit. It's a hissy fit now in hindsight. It's a hissy fit. And started talking all this trash about I'm about to remind y'all that I'm the greatest rapper and I'm the best and yada yada blah 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 blah. So he ends up putting out this record, this freestyle. Yeah, what's it called? Silence of the. Is it Lump? I guess I can't ask anybody. La Bamba, whatever it's called. Let me show y'all. So we're gonna play a little bit of this. We're gonna play just a smidge.
At the deep night, bro.
Wish that I could tell it all.
So this is him saying I'm the greatest rapper.
About what he's done.
Solidarity like that muscle we refuse to flex. That synergy that these niggas just refuse to tap into. In our disparity, match our hustle, we exude success. Attack us mentally, that's that energy kings get trapped into. Therefore, I'm done promoting the dumb shit. I put a hole in your son while he holding your sun chips. While you over there with a chip on your shoulder like you over or some shit. Your flow is redundant. I separate your body from soul. Now your body is cold, spiraling out of control. Now you over there, body odor is pungent. For coming out of your body over assumptions. Look at all this passive aggressive pussy and all the past neglectful positions these pussies put me in. We them cool niggas bringing food, liquor, and fullies in. They do all the yelling, then accuse nickel of bullying. Cruelty to MCs is intellectual vibrato. Run up full speed to hit niggas with the message like Wallow. I bleed mentally, if I greed mentally and sync with Neo and Stevie Sensory. I squeeze.
Right, all right. I'm not gonna play that whole thing, right? So Royce was like super in his rappity rap, skibbity bebop stuff, right? So when I talk about rappity rap, like that's what that was. Royce was rapping words, inside of lines, like it was crazy. So then we all go to bed, and Lupe puts out a record like in the middle of the night. So that beat is beautiful. It was a great beat. And Lupe came in and just said,
yeah, track.
He didn't let that.
I apologize, man.
He didn't let
Last
that breathe.
minute. So, let me ask for this in advance. SLR. Yeah. Say they lean on me. Niggas try to dream on me. Told that nigga he can lean on me. Fall asleep and have a dream on me, nigga. Yeah. You see, it takes niggas weeks. They need a comfort zone and some beats. Lollygaggers to polymatters that go over responses. Get all layered and technical in their content. Press record. Then I bring the receipts. Lambda, lambda, lambda. I think that shit was sweet. I wish I could just kiss you on the cheek. Nerds have their hands in everything. Gangsters won't even touch the police. Won't you tell your niggas get that? Take some of them cool fullies and go and get some of my shit back. Your problem is that you ain't never had no impact. Kit Kats and chit chat and syntax don't make up for how much you sit back. I think that nigga's scared. He never leave heaven, cause he already dead. Damn, nigga, are you insane? What's the point in knowing how to point and aim? If the niggas you gon' bang look exactly the same, that ain't motherfucking cool, that's a motherfucking shame. This ain't no motherfucking game. That's why I think you are a motherfucking lame. We both wear glasses, the difference is...
Alright, I'm gonna cut it right there. Now, Trav, Royce and Lou was 1A and 1B until this. I ain't gonna hold you. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. So now, Mickey Fax comes through. And a lot of y'all didn't know who Mickey Fax was. A lot of y'all just know Mickey as the dude. I mean, y'all don't even know that. But like for many people, he's the guy that was in the room with Joe Budden when Raekwon's goons punched him in the face, right? So Royce is on IG Live every other day, and he was being really condescending to Mickey. And he kind of forced Mickey's hand. And Mickey does this.
Mickey, hurts when you gotta kill a nigga you love. It's all good though. So. No more talking, nigga. Look, all this chatter for hours is really silly, nigga. With no rapping, I swear you gotta be backwards. No matter how many flowers you try to give a nigga, it's like they only want them on top of their casket. Damn, pay the price for acting ladylike. We rarely see black M&Ms. Kinda shady, right? You sent the shot, so I flash back like it's 80s night. Playing big or put you in the box, that was Gravy's plight. Thought I was hijacking that live, now I'm taking flight. Your girl in the ghost and got...
This is a good diss beat too. Diss beats are
chess
important.
move, you see Ryan Reynolds wrapped in a lagoon, that's a Deadpool. Yeah, Lupe freestyled and got you out of here. You cried alone from playing yourself, shed a solid tear. All that syllable biblical is kinda weird. It dresses you up from being direct, cause you probably scared. Your fans say I'm on a rampage, better reunite Slaughterhouse and get cut. You need your band-aid, I told him prove you do what I do. He gave me lampshade and said no. I gave the bitch room and then the man cave. Woo! Divide his body, the footage got him severed, contradicting every lie. Pull yourself together. Your songs ain't no anthems, your bar placement random, and you still ain't bring that energy to RJ and Ransom, nigga. I think it's crazy, right? Like, this all started cause...
Alright, I'm gonna cut that. So the only part of that diss I don't like is the impersonation of Ransom and RJ Payne. I thought that was corny. But after that, Royce, go listen to it. It's on YouTube if you haven't heard it. So on the Instagram live, Royce he kept talking to Mickey like, you're not checking boxes. You don't check boxes. You're not checking boxes. So at the end of the diss, Mickey just basically does wordplay with checking boxes. He flips checking boxes like 10 times. It's filthy. It's scary. And it's like, it's not the same equivalent, but this is like, man, this is, I don't say, this ain't like when Lennox Lewis lost to Rockman. It might be like that because Lewis didn't really take Rockman serious and got rocked. And I felt like Royce was trying to like little boy. Let me take this off. He was trying to like little boy Mickey. And Mickey been around for a while. I was listening to Mickey in 07. Heaven's Fallout? What? When Mickey was wearing the big flappy, the big supers with the floppy tongue, pause, and the straps. Hey man, if you had a pair of them supers... And so Royce apparently gets on Instagram Live again last night and is crying again. And I'm like, bro, shut up and rap. You're making me look bad. You're making me look terrible. And it sucks, man. It sucks. It sucks. Yeah, Mickey was in that. He was in that early class, man. I think Mickey got records with Drake on Room for Improvement, or like during that era. Mickey was one of those blog rappers for sure. And I'm hurt because I've been caping for Royce for years. Royce is my guy. Royce is my guy. Can't nobody fool with Royce. Can't nobody fool with Royce. Royce is the greatest rapper. You know, my hot take is that Black Thought is the most overrated, underrated rapper. If everybody thinks you're underrated, you're rated properly. Like, everybody thinks you're great. Who doesn't think Black Thought is great? You know what I'm saying? And I gotta, if this was Black Thought, he'd have a diss already. He would do this. So I'm upset. You're right, Trav. Like, Royce is making us look terrible. So there's rumors that Royce was getting Eminem, Royce was getting Crooked, Royce was getting other people. And it's like, you asked for both of them. You asked for both of them. Lupe was trying to get everybody to rap, and everybody was hopping on Instagram Live. Like, everybody shut up and rap. Everybody should think they're the best if they're rapping. I think I'm the best rapper. I think if a beat comes on, I can stand toe to toe with anybody, and I should feel that way. If I'm in whatever you do that you create, you should feel like you're the best, or that's where you're trying to get to. And if somebody ever tells me to show and prove, not anytime, because nigga, I ain't rapping. I ain't rapping on a moment's notice, or like on a nah. I gotta be in the mood to do it. But if I need to, you know what I'm saying? I got some bars in the tuck always. I'm not gonna hop on Instagram Live about it. So like Royce, like, man, his stock is low. This was the opportunity for Royce to be like, yo, you're the guy. You know what I found out during all this stuff? That his LA Leakers freestyle, he's lip syncing that. Go back and watch it. Somebody said it and I was like, nah, they probably just hating. I went back and watched it, and like, I don't know if they just, maybe they ran it and then they just like, you know, like put the, you know, like sync the video to the audio. I'm not sure what they did, but it looks like he's lip singing. I hope that's not the case, because, you know, you hear stories about people going up to, you know, Hot 97, people going up to, you know, the BET Hip Hop Awards and doing the ciphers and having to do their stuff like over, like do takes, and they got to splice them in. I'm hurt, y'all. I'm hurt. You see, like, these are the things that I care about. We talked about Sha'Carri and all that stuff earlier. Sure. We talked about Woodstock and revisionist history. Sure. These are the things that get me riled up. Whatever. Y'all go back and watch the freestyle. His rapping, his mouth moving, and what's being said under the beat do not always match up. I'm hurt. Like, there's no way. It had to have been just like an editing issue. I don't know. Y'all go back and y'all check that out, man. Yeah, Lupe, man. That's the other thing about Lupe. Here's my critique of Lupe. I love Lupe. I love Lou. And one of my biggest regrets in life is not going to Cincinnati to see his Food and Liquor concert like a week before quarantine. He was there like in March of last year, and I didn't go. Lupe, I feel like Lupe raps for himself. I feel like Lupe raps to impress himself. And for me, rapping is a form of communication. I should be communicating something to my audience, other than I'm great. And that's always like or not even I'm great. I am my biggest fan is what Lou communicates to me. I love Lou. He is phenomenal, a one of one, but like he's his biggest fan, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. It's the only thing. No, we keep it tall. This is what we doing in my space. We keep it tall about everything, cuz. That's a great question, Shane. Let's talk. So if M is getting into this space, and actually, Shane, I'm glad you're in here because you talked about you had a question about was it fair or something like that. I want you to explain that so I can answer it properly. Would M really have a shot? M has always punched down. He has always. Okay. Eminem got washed by Everlast. So there's that. Eminem got washed by Evidence from Dilated Peoples. I don't remember those Cannabis disses. I know Cannabis was dissing him on See True Hollywood Stories, I believe, but I don't remember them to know if they were good or not. I'm trying to think who else is in battle. Cause y'all are right, he does punch down. No, here we're not gonna talk about Floyd Mayweather in this space. Floyd is my guy. Ja got M out the pain with one line. One line. Which one? What's the do-rag for? Or what'd he say? He said something about Kim is a whatever weather. No, he said Haley's a whatever weather and Kim is a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? That was filthy. He did get washed by Machine Gun Kelly. No, Ja lost that battle because of Busta Rhymes. Ja calling Busta Rhymes Jeffrey over the Hail Mary beat is the funniest thing in the world, Joe. That was the funniest part of that whole beef. Yo, my wife and I listened to speaking of that era, my wife and I listened to Exhibit's diss of Jermaine Dupri over the Grinding beat. That was a good time. That was a good diss. Exhibit. Oh, okay. Here's a question I got for y'all. Randomly, what is a rap verse that you can rap verbatim that you're like surprised that you know the words to? So it's not necessarily like your favorite song, but if it comes on, you rap it verbatim. For me, it's the first verse of Exhibit Paparazzi. Why do I know that song by heart? I don't know. It's not a song I listen to all the time, but when it comes on, I am Exhibit. Your mama's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? Crazy. So, okay, to answer your question, Shane, I'm sorry. Nah, bro, like M doesn't. 2021 M doesn't stand a chance. 2021 M. Because like what Trav said, I thought Royce was rapping better and I thought Lou was like punching. The fact that Lupe didn't let Royce's diss breathe, he was on his head in like a few hours, that lets me know what type of time Lupe is on. And Eminem is not on that time. He may think he is, but he's not. He's not. He's not. It would go very bad for him. And I'm not even the biggest Crooked I fan either. Like Crooked be rapping about absolutely nothing. He just raps. He's almost like the white rappers who just rap really fast and people get like excited. Like I've been listening to Crooked I since 2002 when he rapped over the Grinding beat. And I don't know, I can't recite one Crooked line like bar. Like not one line I can remember from Crook. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so I did say this. So on my podcast on Clock Radio Speakers, which you can listen to it, clockradiospeakers.com, patreon.com/clockradiospeakers. I did say that was a little crazy when Lupe told Royce that he should have died instead of Biz. I mean, here's why it's too far. Here's why it's too far. Because this was supposed to be a sparring match. And somebody asked, was this, I can't believe this is the conversation that's got the chat going crazy. Of course it is. This was supposed to be a sparring match between two friends. And yes, this is why the podcast ended. And like, okay, so say for example, me and Trav like go on a record and we diss each other, right? So say me and Trav decide we just want to rap about each other. Like, Trav is my friend, so all of my disses are gonna have like a limit to them. They're gonna be clever, they're gonna be witty, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna be to impress all those who are listening and also impress him. I'm not gonna tell Trav like, yo, you know, I kill your kids and I kidnap your wife and I da-da-da. Like, I'm not doing that to Trav because that's my man. Now, if it was somebody who made me upset, like if it was somebody that I had an issue with and it became like a rap beef, like on some Thugnificent Granddad stuff, yeah, then I'm going for everything. There's no limit. But if this is my friend, that's why I said it was too far. I mean, and yeah, you know, Royce did say, I'll shoot the sun chips out your son's hand or whatever he said. But like, dang, he told the nigga that he should have died instead of Biz. That's foul. That's foul. So it is what it is, man. Let me go back and read these responses for the records. Ab Live on Ride Around Shining. So these are verses that people just know the words to that they don't listen to all the time. Future Records, Ether. Is that it? Yeah, that was pretty much it that all people said. So, all right, let's get into this last topic. See if anything anybody wants to say. Okay. 2K, let me pull this up. I'm glad y'all really like that segment. So maybe we should do a rap segment every week because y'all clearly like this. Let's get into this 2K stuff. Let me read this. That bar was funny. And Royce has definitely been coming off corny. Okay. So 2K, NBA 2K. So it says, according to sources, my career for NBA 2K22 on next-gen consoles will just focus on basketball, but also side ventures that can act as a secondary career for players. 2K is yet to explicitly detail these ventures, but reports claim that players can dive into the fashion or music industries, allowing them to become fashion and rap moguls while being the best player in the league. In addition, 2K will merge my career in the city to create a space with new and familiar faces and engaging storylines. Unfortunately, the city will not be available for blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, y'all. Yeah, Trav gonna get out of here. He's like, this ain't my bag. Hold on, y'all. All right. When did 2K die? And this is Dame Lillard's fault, right? I shouldn't say fault because I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at Dame for rapping because Dame can rap. I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I had Shaq's second and third album. So I'm not mad at it. But what year did 2K die? I said 18, but people were telling me that it died before then. The last 2K that I bought before 18 was 12, 13, I want to say. I want to say it was 13. Now, I would go to the homie's house and he and I would run games all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I'm just playing with my man, pause, like, then, you know, game was fine. But I think 18, like, when they really put an emphasis on VC, that killed it for me. Like, 18 was really, really, really bad. So 13, I thought, didn't DJ Khaled executive produce it one year? That was pretty bad too. I'm surprised Dame didn't rap in Space Jam. Did y'all like Space Jam? I didn't mind it. LeBron's facial expressions, him and his son were hilarious. They were so bad. It was very entertaining. I was entertained. The game didn't need to be an hour though, but it was cool. But you're right. I mean, microtransactions are definitely a thing in the gaming industry. It's ridiculous. There's no reason why I've had Tekken 7 for 4 years and they still want me to buy characters that I should have had when I first bought the game. Like, that's stupid. It's stupid. My son is every time the weather changes, my son is asking me to buy him some Super Smash Brothers characters. I'm like, I'm not doing it. 2K11 is the GOAT 2K. 2K11 is the GOAT 2K. I went back and I bought it again, so I'm running Michael Jordan challenges. 2K11 was the GOAT 2K, man. It was the GOAT. That was such a time, man. So when they changed, so I played 2K20. I got 2K20 for like $5 or something like that. So we was in quarantine. I got it. My homie was like, we can just run some games real quick. Run some games online. I played it like it was whatever. You know what I'm saying? I played 21. Went to the homie house. We was running games at 21. I don't know what they did with like that shot stick or the shot meter. I don't know what they did, but I think the final score of me and my man's game was like 18-12 or something like that. Like, we could not figure out the shot meter. It was so bad. So I might destroy everybody. I might ruin all my credibility with this. But the last 2 years I've had more fun playing NBA Live. 18 and 19. I had more fun playing it. I still play 19. No cap, as the U's say. 2K or NBA Live 2019 was alright. It was cool. It was a little arcadey, but I had fun playing it, which was all I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, essentially. And Live just kind of, it just kind of flew off the map. I don't know if they messed it up, or 2K. I think Live 19 like got some bad reviews or something like that. I don't know, but they didn't do it the last 2 years. It's like, y'all remember when NBA Live was in this same spot. It was being mad lazy. So this was like 2000 peak Live on PS2 is what? Live 03? Live 02? Yeah, dog, I haven't played Madden since like 2010, dog. I haven't played Madden in forever. Live got lazy, and what 2K did, 2K made their game $19. 2K6 had, I think, D-Wade on the cover, I want to say. And I bought it. And they had Little Brother on the soundtrack. And I was like, oh, nah, this was it. And I enjoyed it. And that changed everything. And then there was 2K9 with Garnett on the cover. 2K10 had Kobe. Like, man, that was such a great time, man. What a time to be alive, dog. Live 04 with the dunk contest. I was like, I think I just figured out how to do the dunk contest in Live 04 like 2 years ago. It's crazy. Vita, what's up? Yeah, NCAA is without question the better football games. Outside of NFL, NFL 2K, NFL 2K1, NFL 2K5. 2K10 was Kobe on the cover, right? So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I think that's going to wrap everything up. Daly City borders San Francisco. Oh, for sure. That's what's up. So I think I'm gonna wrap up here, y'all. That's all I want to talk about. I think I'm gonna try and do this a thing. I'm gonna try and do this every Wednesday without competition. Innovation goes by the wayside. Absolutely. Ask Vince McMahon. Ask WWE and AEW. I'm not an AEW fan because the fans are really annoying. But them signing Punk and Daniel Bryan has piqued my interest. I gotta tune in for that. I have to. But yeah, I'm gonna do this every Wednesday, hopefully at 9 o'clock. Kids are in bed. I want to keep it at like an hour. Also, I'll probably be doing something more fashion centered on Model Ministry. So if you don't follow me there at model.ministry, I think I'll be doing Model Ministry Mondays and then Wake Up Wednesdays here. Just make sure you are tapped into my stories. The long-term goal is to move over to YouTube. But for now, we're gonna keep it on Instagram for the time being. And yeah, y'all just shoot me DMs. Let me know what you want to talk about. We'll wrap up or we'll do stuff every week. And we'll keep it hip hop. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Give y'all night back because y'all know I could talk more than I need to. And yeah, y'all have a good night.